It was a big accident, though, wasn't it, for the second goal, the wall falling apart. L'Equipe, nice headline, back to the wall. Talking about PSG's chances, of course, advancing to the final. Here's a clip from yesterday with my brilliant, insightful question. How embarrassing is that for a wall to, well, crumble?
A wall? A wall? No, honestly, I think it's pathetic. I don't need to say it myself, but ultimately that's the type of thing which is just unacceptable.
Don?
Players hate it. Honestly, Dan, players hate it when you watch a manager set his team up. And remember me and Stevie Nicol had a massive argument in the Porto-Juventus game about Ronaldo turning his back. I mean, it's one of the most basic things in football when fans pay their money to watch their teams play and they can't even have the bravery just to stand there and be brave and take a ball in the chest, take it on the leg, take it in the face. Just be brave for your team. And it just winds you up. It really, really grinds your gears when you just think, how are you not brave enough in a Champions League semi-final to stay strong in a wall? It's awful.
Robbo?
Don's absolutely right. You've got to stay strong. You've got to make sure, if you're going to be a wall, you can't let the goalkeeper down and jump and turn your back and let the ball go between you. It's a poor bit of defending. It's shocking, really, and it shouldn't be accepted.
How would you feel if you're Keylor Navas, Shaka, and that happened to you?
Listen, it really is infuriating. There's no other way to put it as a goalkeeper. You're responsible for your half of the goal primarily. If the ball goes over the top of the wall, maybe you have a chance, but you see that coming all the way. To have a wall split that easily, I mean, it's cowardly, it's costly. It really is infuriating to be talking about a wall at this level of the game.
First goal, Shaq. Could Keylor Navas have done anything?
No, I don't think he can come. As a goalkeeper, you have to wait until the ball, especially when it's delivered as that De Bruyne ball was, just over head height. You have to wait until it beats the large striker. I think the deepest striker was John Stones, if memory serves me correctly, who stayed up from a set piece. Until it gets to him, Keylor Navas has to play for the touch. That's what he does. Anything before that, you are hoping that the defense copes with. Why, again, you ask PSG defensively, it just seems so inept, is simply beyond me. But Keylor Navas did as any goalkeeper should in that position. You play for the touch. The touch never comes, it sneaks into the far post.
Do you agree, Don?
I mean, I would always bow to Shaq's knowledge when it comes to goalkeeping. It's just one of them where you see it so often where I know what De Bruyne's trying to do. He's trying to start it on the far post with a little bit of curl, thinking if no one touches it, I've got a chance. But I always see them sort of goals in sort of slow motion because as an outfield player, I know what he's trying. And I always wonder why the goalkeeper doesn't try and think like an outfield player and maybe forget John Stones in that incident and just try and get the flight of the ball. But if Shaq says there was no fault to Navas, I'll agree with him.
No, you don't have to, Don.
No, I mean, that's my thinking of it, but he's the pro in that scenario. I mean, if I was Keylor Navas, I would try and get the flight of the ball and maybe think of the worst, not think if John Stones taps it in. But, you know, I could be wrong.
Robbo, Don's saying he knows better than goalkeepers, Shaka.
Well, yeah, maybe he does. I mean, I think he was in exactly the right position to start with, and he has to wait or think there's going to be a touch. So he's in the middle of the goal. But at what point does he realise or not realise the ball's going to miss everybody? And that's the only question I'd have against him. At some point, he must realise that Kimpembe's not going to get there. He must realise that John Stones isn't going to get there. So he has to start moving across his goal and react that little bit quicker. That's the only fault you can have. His starting position was absolutely right, as Shaka said.
Jack?
I think if Stones gambles, he gets there. But I think John Stones as well doesn't think that everybody from PSG is going to miss it. So if you're a goalkeeper, you can't get drawn to the ball and find yourself out of position if Stones just does what. If that were a striker in that same position that Stones found himself in, I think the striker does gamble and does get there. But Stones being a defender doesn't have that kind of sense of anticipation about it. And that's what undoes Keylor Navas. The fact that a defender doesn't have the same striking instinct that, you know, a Kun Aguero or a Phil Foden would. And as a result, you know, kind of that's why he doesn't play for the flight of the ball.
Thanks so much for watching ESPN on YouTube. And for more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for premium content and live streaming, subscribe to ESPN Plus.